What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 202. On today's episode, we're going to recap Week 18. Playoff scenarios are set. We have our matchups. The Lions are kicking ass. Should be a good episode.
Let's do it.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to Bench. My name's Joey, joined by my brother Angel. Over that producer's desk, double barrel action, Terrell Thoroughgood, Gabe Tovar.
Bang, bang.
Terrell, the greatest on-ball defender I've ever seen, and registered Packer owner, Gabe Tovar. We'll get started here first, though. Angel, first of all, to you and Terrell, congratulations.
Yep, Bronco victory Monday.
Broncos country.
Yeah.
You guys left no doubt.
No.
And
And Carson Wentz is exactly what we thought he was. Bad.
as soon as I saw the score, I just thought that, what is it, Anakin? You were the chosen one.
Carson. Yeah, but Broncos.
No,
played.
You were the only one that picked him.
Yeah, I know.
Anakin, right?
Yeah, Anakin. Yeah.
Yeah, that was, I did not pick them. I literally called what happened. I said, you're going to see the
No, I'm saying
the
as far
worst
I'm
of
saying as far
Carson Wentz.
I'm saying as far as the chosen one, you were the only one that chose him.
Well, the Eagles paid him a pretty healthy contract, and he almost won MVP, so chill out on that.
You're still defending Carson Wentz. It's
No, I'm just
unbelievable. 7
saying.
years
I'm not.
ago.
No, I'm not. There's not some random player that I chose. Like he was at one point good.
No, he was saying this year you picked him as the chosen one because you were so like on board with him playing.
I wasn't saying this year. I was more talking about this game.
Either way, he still sucks ass all year this year. This game today.
I was
One
surprised.
game.
I thought I said
the
that I said
hell?
they should have sat Patrick Mahomes and played him on the Christmas day or the Saturday day before Christmas. I thought Carson was going to be better than he was.
Yeah, he was not.
Huh?
Yeah, he was not good. I mean, he was throwing a Peyton Hendershot, and they had absolutely zero to play for. But some context.
Shout out to
on
Juju
that.
Smith-Schuster out there running
poor guy.
routes. Poor guy.
I saw Juice Smith-Schuster locked up with Pat Surtain. I thought it's not a good day for them. It's not a good day.
No,
for the
Noah
Chiefs.
Gray was like, this is my moment. Nope, it wasn't Noah.
Did not mean to start the show with Carson Wentz talk. But on today's episode, we're going to recap Week 18. Playoff scenarios are starting to crystallize. We went ahead and turned off the Lions and Vikings game because the Lions are whipping their ass.
Disappointing as hell.
Yeah, and honestly, I can't wait to talk about it because it's a blowout for sure at this point.
Yeah.
But it had definitely – you could definitely see if it was played again, playing out a different way.
Maybe in Minnesota it was different.
Yeah,
but
well,
it's in Detroit.
They won't play in Minnesota again.
No.
If you're watching on YouTube, welcome to the channel.
Hi.
Subscribe, turn on notifications. We are creeping and crawling up to 1,000 subs.
I meant episode 300.
No,
We just hit 200.
100 episodes away.
It goes very fast. So
Creeping.
If you're listening to Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, thanks for joining the audio version of the Bench Podcast.
Audio.
Brought to you by the Fans First Sports Network. All right, guys, let's get started with what we all want to talk about, and that is not anything that happened on any football field during today's slate of games. Let's talk about Jerod Taylor and Skip Bayless.
Oh boy.
Because some news broke today, and it's
So let's say allegedly because
quite risky.
Pat McAfee got sued for saying
That's true.
shit like
That's
this.
true. So
allegedly happened.
So the stories are Jerod Taylor slept away to the top of Fox, and that Skip Bayless tried to sleep his way.
Into someone's heart.
Yes, you say that.
One
Skip
was
Bayless
doing it for love.
Skip Bayless allegedly offered $1.5 million to sleep with the hairstylist, and Jerod Taylor allegedly had some sexy time with Emmanuel Acho.
And with some executives
Yeah,
in Fox.
and thus got her, and thus made the jump from bartender and small-time radio host
to all over
the
Fox.
lead host of Fox's flagship shows.
Yeah.
So my question to you guys:
Yes.
what do you believe happened more? What's more believable?
Would.
Look, I believe the Jerod Taylor story.
You're so sexist, dude.
You're
You're such a misogynist. It's unbelievable.
1.5 million is a lot of money to
I'm
offer somebody.
I'm with them on that.
And
you
just
seen
for
her?
them to not take it. Look,
Have you gotten eyes on her?
I haven't seen it.
So you don't know.
Hairstylist?
You don't know. She
She's a
could be,
hairstylist,
she could be
right?
crazy hot. You have no idea.
I don't know about crazy hot.
Look-
I mean, he talks about Ernestine a lot. So
It's true.
That is very true.
you
The
know,
fact that we know her name.
we know Ernestine. That tells me a lot. I mean, he sounds like he's madly in love with his wife. 1.5 million is
Ernestine.
crazy.
Okay, so you're more likely to believe the Jerod Taylor thing.
I'm more likely to believe Jerod Taylor. I mean, the fact that she is now she's the lead host on Speak, I think, and that show is just garbage right now. It's her, Paul Pierce,
So that's
Keyshawn
that's
Johnson.
the Emmanuel
Shady
Acho.
McCoy. Yeah.
Well, Acho was on the show. It was Acho. It was
Shady McCoy, right?
Shady McCoy
Yeah.
and Joy Taylor. They had their own show, and then now those guys took over and made a football show.
What has happened?
the check
Fox had a
bounced.
moment where they could have been the thing.
What, 2018, 17, where they're
When,
like, Fox could take over here.
By the way, let's get through this first. Gabe, more likely, what happened?
Yeah, I mean, being a big Colin Cowherd fan, I saw the rise and fall. Well, not the fall, but
the rise
the
of
rise
Colin.
of Joy Taylor. I saw
I thought
her
you meant-
get more segments, became a little more popular. She kind of stayed away from the woke side of it, and she kind of, she
Oh, not anymore.
she rose she rose up there. But I think as fast as that trajectory was, where she got up to the top, it's like.
Well, we can't forget who was.
We all
Oh,
know
not yet,
this.
not yet. We're gonna get to that.
okay,
We're
we're
gonna
gonna
get
get
to
to
that. 'Cause I want to ask
And
Gabe
yeah,
about that.
and then just to skip anything, I fully agree with Terrell. I think first of all, it wasn't a celebrity he was trying to sleep with. I think that's celebrity money if you're going to offer them more than $1 million. Exactly. And then on top of that, he does talk about his wife a lot. And then again, doesn't make sense that a superstar has to pay a lot of money for a no name. It's normally the other way around. So yeah, I
think you guys are underestimating what happens when the little head starts talking to the big head. You know what I'm saying?
You think it was like a bartering thing? He was like,
I think it was probably some woman, if it did happen.
We don't know if it happened yet. We don't
Some woman who is insanely attractive and who he maybe saw a couple times and just developed a very strong, lustful feelings for. But she was untouchable.
what do you think he was kind of like, I'm like, let me take you to a nice dinner. She was like, come on, Skip.
I'll give you $1 million.
He was like,
dinner to me.
Like, hey,
what do you want? 1.5 million?
that's what I'm saying. It's like, come on, let's go.
That being
I'll
said,
give you a $1.5 million.
I definitely believe the Joy Taylor one more than I do the Skip.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
Angel, where you at?
I think they both did it. I think he offered
No, play the
Pick
game.
one. Stop sitting on the
God.
fence. Pick one.
I honestly believe Skip Bayless did it, honestly.
Over Joy
What do you
Taylor?
think about their idea that, hey, to all their points, we're like, hey, she wasn't a star.
I think they both did it. But I think for sure Skip Bayless did it. But Joy Taylor, that's like a lot. It's obvious. I think we all knew it.
Because that's a story we've seen. But I'm saying when they say Skip wouldn't have done it because of all the reasons they listed, what do you say to those reasons?
Yeah, PT wouldn't have done it because he has every woman. These rich guys, when they get rich, they don't reality is not real. Like reality is not our reality. Their reality is not our reality. I'm telling you, they pay anything for sex.
Look, the big question is this, Angel. Would you have taken the money?
Did he make it the
Would
full
you have
30
taken the
minutes?
1.5
Skip's money?
million? Skip, would you have taken Skip's money?
No. That's don't ask me that
Would you
again.
have taken Skip's
No,
money?
no. I would have taken Rand. I'm not touching him.
You wouldn't have been a Skip. You wouldn't have done that for what?
Shannon
for what?
Sharp would have.
Wow.
Leave him and Michelle out of this.
Yikes. That's unfair.
But Terrell brought up a good point, Gabe, that I want to, because you're an OG Colin Cowherd fan.
Uh-huh.
What happened to
Christine Leahy.
Angel face herself.
Yeah, that's another one too.
I think we need to start talking about maybe someone didn't take the 1.5 million. Maybe someone didn't take the date from Emmanuel Acho. Her name is Christine Leahy.
I think so too. I mean, she was right up there.
She was hosting that one show.
I'm gonna check right now what she's doing.
on ABC. We have to run through the obstacles.
Oh yes, Wipeout.
What? She was
Wipeout?
hosting
Is that-
Wipeout.
that's where she's at nowadays?
No, she was. I don't know if she's now.
Wow.
She was hosting Wipeout after she left Fox.
Yeah.
I know her. She's famously known for her.
Stay in your lane.
No, well, yeah, that, yeah. She's famously known for that. And then I know, once that kind of hit though, I feel like in today's world with social media and everything, if you hit that moment on a show where goes viral and you weren't necessarily the celebrity of the viral clip, your career starts to trend down a little bit. So I don't think there's any, with her, I think she just naturally just left this Joy Taylor thing. I think it's very much TMZ.
So Kristen Leahy currently on her Instagram says former NBC Ninja Warrior and Fox.
Ninja Warrior. That's what it
Yeah,
was. Wow, we got
and
Wipeout.
Fox and CBS TNT host. So she says former to all those. I think she just had her first child.
Oh, good for her.
She's turned down a lot of money. there.
She's just having a family.
Hey, she's just she was the good person. Like,
She
no,
probably
I'm
made a decent amount of cash.
not doing any of that. I'm gonna start a family.
Exactly.
And I'm out.
I like it.
We were talking about me and Terrell, her and Colin. That was fun.
Yeah, it was.
That was a good balance.
Yeah,
we don't say all the reasons why, but
Yeah, you had the Colin Cowherd, who's like the voice of sports for our generation,
Right.
And then the hot blonde who knows sports. Perfect balance.
back before he wasn't trying to go viral.
yeah,
Everything he
it was
said.
it was just good. Yeah.
And then he just
It was
brought
the
in a bunch
same thing
of-
with Joy Taylor. When she came on, it was the same exact thing. Just another very attractive woman.
Joy's
talking
annoying
sports.
to me.
Really?
Is Joy annoying to you guys?
She's not like what's her name?
Like
on
if
First
you were
Take.
just listening to her, you weren't looking at her.
She's not Molly.
She's not Molly.
Molly's the one.
Molly is.
Oh God, am I thinking of Molly?
Yeah,
I
Molly's
think
Molly's
you are.
awful.
Molly's
pretty
pretty
bad.
bad. Yeah. Shout out to ESPN for hiring Molly.
She's still there too. After all those bad ratings and everything ESPN got, she's
Well,
still
that's
the host.
That's Stephen A's.
We need to look into Molly.
There you go.
All right, let's get to the news. I want to commend you guys. I think you guys did a pretty good job, for the most part, not going off the rails with that last story we just covered with.
Yeah, good job, guys.
I thought you. I mean,
All I did was
really
not-
talking to you.
Yeah.
Like I thought you behaved yourself pretty well.
I did.
All right, let's get into the news here, and we'll start by just mentioning something. We're going to obviously dive into the draft much more in the coming months, obviously all leading up to our draft party live stream in April. So we'll talk about the draft a lot coming up, but we do want to mention some maneuvering that happened today in the draft order. Like we said, Patriots crapped away the number one overall pick.
Nice.
As the Giants did before them, as the Raiders did before them. Finally, after the game of hot potato, the Tennessee Titans end up with it. Top three is the Titans, Browns, and Giants. Has to be the most unsexy top three we could have gotten.
Yeah, and I keep saying that the Browns have eaten first-round picks for breakfast. they get these picks, and you'll never hear from them again.
I probably shouldn't bring this up
Myles
right now.
Garrett.
I was going to say.
Miles Garrett's about to leave.
Do you think he's going to stay?
He says he wants to leave. Number one pick. I'm telling you, they do this all the time. They get picks. They have good roster. And they have to do anything with them.
He's already saying a lot of things are like, oh, you're looking at green pastures.
because he knows he's not going to win anything.
He met with the ownership. Like, I'm not part of a rebuild.
Yeah.
What's your plan to get good right away?
Yeah, it's not Deshaun Watson.
Jeez.
It's
terrifying.
The Titans they're okay. They're not exciting though. But they're okay. Giants are.
I think the bigger story here is the Raiders and the Patriots crapping. I mean, the Patriots would have been in an incredible position.
Yeah.
They would have had some new coach, whether that's Vrabel or whoever it is, Drake May, 130 in cap space, and the number one overall pick.
Yeah.
Like, what? I mean, I guess they tried to tank.
Yeah, they took out May after the first drive. Then Joe Milton came in there and just tore it up.
Again, just so happens they have two great young quarterbacks.
Yeah. And then the Saints are at number 9.
Gabe,
The Saints are at number 9. That's the worst team in football, and they're at number 9.
oh, you're right.
That's terrible.
Colts announced that both GM Chris Ballard and Shane Steichen are coming back 2025. No changes will be had there. I believe this was released via like Instagram statement by Jim Irsay.
Yeah.
And so these guys are going to stick around. I'll ask you guys in a second if you like this move for the Colts. But I will say I do like that it's handled right now. We don't have to wonder about it. We know what the immediate future of the Colts is, and when they could just all be on the same page and build. But that being said, Angel, we'll start with you. This tandem, running it back another year, you assume it's with Anthony Richardson. What do you think of it?
I like it. I think sometimes you have to give these coaches time. I like Shane Steichen as a coach a lot. I think this year he got derailed because of the Anthony Richardson weirdness. But yeah, I'm not a big Chris Ballard guy. I'm big Steichen guy. It's hard to find a good head coach.
Terrell, you like this duo?
Yeah, I'm the opposite. I like Chris Ballard. I think they've had some good drafts. Getting Pittman, is a good pick in the draft. Latu. They've had some good drafts. They've been close. The Colts season has come down to the last 2 weeks, the last two seasons. So they're close. They're hovering around. They're not really a playoff contender yet, but they are a playoff caliber team. They just haven't finished the season strong. So they're close.
Gabe, go ahead.
No, I mean, kind of more to that with the GM thing. My problem here is with the head coach. I feel like you're just going to run back. I mean, if this show taught me one thing, it's not to be patient with these guys. And I think if things have to change, though, where your young guys aren't kind of panning out the way you want to, it comes from coaching. So if they were going to make a trade or not trade, if they're going to make any type of change, it would have been the coaching. But the fact that they decided the day of the last season that this is going to be the guy we're going to roll with next year, then all the best to them.
I mean, I didn't see anything about them saying the same thing about Anthony Richardson, which I don't think they should run it back with Anthony Richardson.
Yeah.
He did not improve one bit. We covered on the last show. Last in completion percentage, last in touchdown interception ratio, was hurt again for a lot of the year. At the end of the year, he got hurt again. Had to crawl out of his house or whatever.
Out of bed. Jeez. But what sucks is they're picking number 14.
Yeah, but I guess you don't. As far as I think you could start looking at other options. Bring in a vet and maybe strike gold with a vet. Maybe pick if Quinn Ewers falls down to you. I mean, Bo Nix was drafted what?
12.
You know what I'm saying? 14. You can maybe get a guy there. I think you start to look at other options. You open the horizons to a backup other than someone like Joe Flacco next year.
Yeah.
I mean, you cool with that?
Yeah, flat. Yeah. It's Colts are so like you're so indifferent about the Colts. You're like, okay, running back.
I mean, we talked about Anthony Richardson last show, and Terrell wasn't here. So Terrell, Anthony Richardson, future in Indy.
I like the guy, but health is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
That's his biggest problem because I think if you give him the reps, he's a big dude. He's Cam Newton like in his game. Like he's
not like Cam Newton like. He's not Cam Newton like.
Oh yeah, of course. He's a big quarterback who can run the football. Who's not great throwing the football. Like Cam wasn't great throwing the football not until like year 7, 8 when he was MVP. So I think I think he's in the same boat. It's the health. I think.
Just to be clear, you're not saying he's as good as Cam. You're saying he's like built in the mold of Cam.
He's like he can be if you develop him right. Yeah. You're looking at a Cam Newton.
That's the style of play.
That's the type of quarterback you got. But the Colts can't do the old vet retread again. You did it with Matt Ryan. You did it with Phillip Rivers. You did it with Joe Flacco. Here again, there's another round of old quarterbacks coming up. It's Russell Wilson maybe coming up. Kirk Cousins coming up.
Aaron Rodgers.
So,
that's true.
And I could see the Colts going at it again. We're going to go with another year of an old veteran retread, get us close, and fall apart. If they do that again, they all got to go. Ballard's got to go then.
All right, let's talk about the Dolphins because Dolphins had quite the eventful day. They missed the playoffs.
Yeah.
Their star receiver went off. We'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
And they announced that their GM and head coach Mike McDaniel aren't going anywhere. And so a lot going on in Miami. Let's start with Mike McDaniel. I don't really care about the GM, to be honest. But Mike McDaniel is the name here. Getting another shot in Miami. It's funny to see when he started versus what Miami has done to his fashion is incredible now.
Yeah.
But kind of the same guy. Is he the Lamar Jackson of coaches?
I think he peaked his rookie season and he's never gotten better.
Yeah.
I do not believe in Mike McDaniel at all.
He just does not win big games.
They haven't won big games. They haven't evolved as an offense or as a team. Even they're the same team every year. And next year, I promise you, they're going to be in a hot streak because they beat bad teams. And when they meet the Packers or this year when they met Green Bay, a real team, did
they meet the playoffs last year?
Yeah.
Oh, they got killed by the Chiefs.
The Chiefs, yeah.
I'm telling you, they're the same
and
team.
They missed this year. I mean, it feels like them every year. It's like, oh, they is one of the teams.
Yeah.
And then every year by the end of the season, they're like, oh, they might make the playoffs. They might not. It really doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter because they're first round exit. Yep.
How you feel about Mike McDaniel?
Look, he really showed that without Tua, he's not good.
True. That's true.
Like they're really bad.
They lost to the Jets today.
Yeah, I mean, they lost but they just looked terrible. Like what the kid Snoop Huntley, he looked good with Baltimore last year. Like he helped him when
is he
Lamar.
a Pro Bowler?
Yeah, Pro Bowler.
Yeah, he was a Pro Bowler.
Literally
Like
Pro
when
Bowler.
Lamar was out, he helped get Baltimore some wins and keep them alive in the playoff hunt. So with him under McDaniel, he looked awful. Like they're terrible. So I don't know. I think it is fair. They've had enough success with him to give him another year. But I could see him if they start off 2-5 or whatever next year, he's gone. Yeah. He could be a midseason firing.
Yeah, but you going to McDaniel? I know you're not a huge Dolphins guy, right?
No, I am.
Oh yeah, you
I
are.
am
You're the Tua guy.
Yeah. What sucks so much is that Angel's definitely right. Like he started off red hot, and that was like his peak. The thing that probably holds him back is that they probably. And I want to ask you guys, see if you guys think. Let's say they were to let him go today. Does he have a job?
Yeah.
As a head coach?
Does he have a job as a head coach in the next?
OC, yeah.
Probably in the next month.
No,
he's an OC, but I don't think he's
OC.
a front runner for a head coaching job.
No.
Okay, so
he's basically Cliff Kingsbury.
Okay, so that was the comp that I was kind of thinking of, and that's kind of like that was where I was kind of struggling. We're like, maybe the fear is that like, man, watch, even though he's not working with us, we're gonna let him go. He's gonna get immediately signed by someone else and go have great success there. And now we look like the fools that let this guy walk because we weren't being patient enough with him or whatever you want to call it.
I mean, I think they've been playing patient. If that's the reason they did it, I think that's some loser logic.
Definitely not professional. No.
This
Lions. I think officially just won this game.
Isn't this the same team that tried to bribe Brady or something like that? Or what
Brady
was
and Sean Payton, right?
Yeah. So they have a history of being kind of
Brian
idiotic.
Flores deal. They kicked Brian Flores
that's
Flores
true.
out the door.
Yeah, and also slandered him like crazy.
Yeah. They've been done before.
Which is not. It's weird because it feels like it wouldn't be hard to get like a coach to go to Miami.
Yeah, dude, Miami.
It's a great place.
You know,
beaches, the
especially
women.
these young coaches.
Yeah, I'm sure he does well.
You definitely have Angel. You definitely have like a quarterback too that's there for a while, and you have to watch out for the concussion.
Well, that's why Brian Flores. Never mind. That's why he's all mad now because he left Miami. You should have stayed in Miami. He was all happy there, smiling. I haven't seen him smile one time this year. That team is 14-3.
I was wondering where you're going with that. Like, where's this going?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like these young coaches, especially, like, I don't know. Ben Johnson seems like a total enigma. I don't know what he's looking for. Like, he's looking for, like,
apparently he wants
the
the ownership.
perfect.
Yeah, it's like, but I don't know if that exists with a bad team.
I mean, look at the dating habits of, like, Bill Belichick. He might love Miami.
He's in North Carolina.
Well, I'll tell you what.
He'd leave North Carolina
Miami
Right away.
for the right fit.
like this one.
I don't know. I
it's-
think he's
this
loving
one
his.
seems better.
I think he's
It's
loving
South
being in
Beach, man.
college.
South Beach. Miami.
Mike Zimmer got engaged. You guys see that?
Oh no.
Yeah, please tell him. Tell him the age and tell him.
Well, I want you to look at it on your phone right now. Okay.
Mike Zimmer, the former
Vikings, yeah.
The old man?
Cowboys
Oh.
He's
defensive coordinator.
he's 68 years old.
Okay.
He just got engaged to his 42-year-old girlfriend.
That's not.
Oh, it's not
So
bad.
26
See,
years. Look at the
that's
picture
not
though.
bad.
Look at the picture. Okay.
She's good.
if she's attractive, that's not a crime. If she's young,
It's not a crime. It's just like, okay, I mean,
I
I mean, come on.
but 42. I mean, I know if I'm not sure how many.
we don't know
Females watch this.
40-year-old women is
42
not our demographic.
Yeah, I'm
she's
just saying.
Definitely Melania.
You saw a picture, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's. I mean, come on.
Good for you, buddy.
Good for
Same.
Mike. Good
Cheers.
for Mike.
We didn't mean to.
It
talk
could be worse. Look at Belichick.
All right, okay. We need to talk about Tyreek Hill though. Tyreek Hill after the game said this. Is the door open to leave the team? He says, "I'm opening the door." Then he says, "I'm out, bro." Yeah, that's the headline you're going to see across the league. It was great playing here. But at the end of the day, I got to do what's best for my career. I'm too much of a competitor to just be out there.
I got 27 damn kids.
They went 8-9. They missed the playoffs, and Tyreek Hill was not happy about it.
Aye.
They asked Mike McDaniel about it. He said, "I'm not putting too much stock into a post-game comment or something like that." But Tyreek Hill, I'm out, bro. That's what is gonna that's what's gonna all the media outlets is gonna grab. And he said it. I mean, I don't know what other way to spin that. Like he's just saying bye, right?
Bye. See you later. I mean, it's a frustrating season. This kind of hurts your appeal. Like, oh, I'm a good character guy. Well, when we were bad, you just wanted out as fast as you
This
could.
fell apart fast.
Listen, man, Super Bowl windows are not open as long.
Super
as long
Bowl
as you
window.
think.
Did they win the division once?
No, yeah.
No.
But they were like a good team at one point, and you believe in them, and then all of a sudden, like this happens. I'm telling you,
This is why I'm always slow, and you guys make fun of me. This is why I'm always slow to crown teams and quarterbacks and organizations. You got to see them do it, man.
Victory lapping.
You got to see them do it. Yep.
He came out and said that Tua is a better thrower of the ball than Patrick Mahomes. He was all up on Tua's nuts.
He was.
And to just not even to see the Chiefs win twice, 2 Super Bowls without the guy, and to lose to them in the playoffs.
It has to do something to him.
Oh, he's
didn't think about
being
that.
destroyed.
Well, Tyreek Hill for
Now they're
being
15-1.
we're trying to sit on a pedestal. We're trying to be the guy who's like taking the higher road. Did you see what Mike McDaniel said today about why he left the game?
Oh no, what did you say?
It's not, like, I was informed he was unavailable right before a
he's
drive.
gone. He's
I was
gone.
not informed of that it was a new injury. I focused on the players that are on the field. So for all this character wanting to win, he didn't want to play football. What are you talking about?
Yeah, he's tired of playing for a crap team. I don't
But-
blame him. He's 31 years old. You don't have time to waste.
You signed a deal there.
I'd leave. That doesn't mean the NFL.
I'm over Tyreek Hill. Though.
You over Tyreek Hill, or do you think do you like the decision?
Oh, Tyreek's still a special player. He's
so special.
He's still
Like if they
very
came
good.
knocking at Denver's door, you would change your
Absolutely.
tune.
Him, Sean Payton would not get along, but yeah.
No, they wouldn't. But Angel brought up that a certain team in Wisconsin should be knocking
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
on. I brought so I asked you off the air. I forgot your answer, so I asked you again right now.
Never gave you one.
Devontae Adams or Tyreek Hill if they both come knocking.
Man, that one's tough.
God, get both. That'd be nice.
That one's really tough, but I feel like I would take Tyreek Hill just because Jordan Love has this thing right now where he
Didn't you say the same thing?
loves the chug. I mean, look at Christian Watson, what they're trying to do with him. I think Tyreek Hill would be like a major upgrade of that. We already have those.
Understatement of the year.
Tyreek Hill would be that guy. Devontae Adams, I'm good now.
We love to do something on this show, and that's fantasize about these players going to
Goodness gracious.
all sorts of teams. Tyreek Hill, best landing spot.
Oh, look, he already was in Miami. The weather, the women.
Why are you so focused on the women?
It's a big deal, man.
Because he's got 17 kids. I mean,
Yeah, that's very much. Yeah, that's
It's a big factor to Tyreek.
He's got
How
a
many
lot of-
kids has he had while being in Miami?
no, that's a good.
I
that's a
could
good
definitely
question.
see him going to the Raiders.
Not
He seems like at this point in his career, he's a Raider
not
guy.
the you.
Not if he wants to win.
Yeah, you can't go. Miami is a way better situation than Vegas.
Well,
The situation he needs to go to with the weather, with the women, indoors, is the Chargers. That's where he needs to end up. That's the team he's got to go to.
In LA, yeah, I'm gonna go to LA.
Gotta go to LA.
I think you have the wrong LA team.
But then you want to go play Kansas City twice a year?
Yeah, that's another great point.
Of course, he would want to beat Kansas City twice a year. Of course, he'd go up against his former team at least twice a year.
Yeah.
He would love that.
Or if like the Niners move on from Debo, maybe the Niners go.
No.
Niners would be interesting.
No, because
no.
it gives you a different element that you never had.
I could see them doing
that
that.
you've never had on a team before. Imagine Tyreek Hill.
Do they have the money to do it though?
You have to give him.
I was gonna say the Rams.
He's a number one. He gets to be the he's not the clear number one in for the Rams. You've got Kupp, you've got Nakua. He's not the one.
Puka's better than Tyreek Hill.
He's not the one. He's the one in LA, the Chargers. With the Chargers, he's the clear number one.
Yeah.
And then you got McConkey now. Like McConkey's.
I mean, does he want to be the number one or does he want to win? Because he's making this dramatic decision today that he wants to
I think
walk.
he gets to do both. I guess he gets to be.
You
number
can't have
one.
both of them. It's like
Yeah,
a guy that's at his age that's focusing on just
31.
Winning. The Rams would be a perfect fit for him.
We said a couple of situations where he'd be the one and he'd win. The Packers, one of them.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
now
maybe.
it's the Pack. Oh, now you get. I'm all right. Yeah, it's a winner.
No,
It's actually,
no,
the
I'm just saying,
Chargers are in the playoffs too.
I'm
with,
just
with
saying,
Jim
like, the
Harbaugh,
better-
they turned it around.
The
after
better
one
fit
season.
for him. If I'm him and I have a choice between the Packers and the Rams, I'm probably picking the Rams.
Tell you what, if he wants women and atmosphere, he's not going to Green Bay.
Yeah, Green Bay. It's all business here.
That's the last. I don't know what is farms.
That's why you chose Miami in the first place. You don't leave Mahomes unless you go for the money, for the win,
you have
for the weather.
Kansas City from
Come on.
Miami. Yeah, I do
Yeah.
the same thing too.
All right, Patriots fired head coach Jerod Mayo right after game. Immediately after the game.
I didn't even think he made it.
Immediately after he lost them the number 1 overall pick. And literally seconds after he got fired, people already started speculating, this is Mike Vrabel's job to lose. Mike Vrabel to the Patriots is what we're going to hear until it's not a reality. That's not my favorite pick. I like Ben Johnson there to work with the young quarterback. But Mike Vrabel's the legend. I mean, gut feeling right now. Is Mike Vrabel on the sideline for the Patriots next year?
Yeah, that's variable.
Yeah?
It's
just too obvious not
They
to
just
happen.
signed like the wrong legendary linebacker for like the Patriots. They got Mayo. They got the wrong guy. Vrabel's a good head coach.
Did they play together? Yeah. I'm guessing, yeah, right?
Yeah, so
And Vrabel was always the star, and Jerod Mayo was always the...
was like the underrated guy.
and now it's like,
No, Mayo he's not a head coach. So like people giving the team crap like, oh, give him 1 year. Sometimes you know in the first year like, oh, you're not a head coach. Like you can tell like the way you carry.
that's exactly what Robert Kraft said in his statement.
Yeah,
Like, hey, he mentioned the first game of the win over the Bengals, and he's like, the rest of the season did not play out the way we wanted it to.
yeah, because he's not a head coach. His players didn't like him. He hated his players. He didn't like the coaches. He was throwing
Some all-time quotes.
He was throwing his OC under the bus when they lost. He was throwing he's calling his team soft. He's just not a head coach.
Situationally, like we love Vrabel. Do you like the fit in New England?
Oh yeah, he's a New England guy through and through. I mean, there's the clip of him at the Patriots Ring of Honor last year when he was still coaching with the Titans, and he said, "There's no better place to be than New England," and the crowd went nuts. And then they hired Jerod Mayo 5 days later. So there was this thought of maybe we're getting Vrabel. So in Patriots Nation, that's the guy they really wanted. I think they already had it set up for Mayo to take over while Belichick was still the guy.
Well, they did, yeah.
So they were just kind of like, all right, well, once this year's over, you're out, and we're bringing him.
I get legacy and all, but like, is that really the right move? Like Joey said, Ben Johnson. I would take Ben Johnson over
No,
him.
but the Patriots are a lot like the
10 out of 10
Cowboys.
times.
I like the Cowboys. The fact that like they like believe in their culture so much. They're like, no, he knows the Patriot way.
Right. But I'm saying the culture doesn't always make the right call.
I would take Ben Johnson.
But he turned around the Tennessee Titans were hot ass.
That's a very good point.
To take the Titans to a perennial playoff team. I mean, they only had one or two down seasons.
Yeah.
But I mean, he turned them around. You make it. You got Derrick Henry to just pound the rock.
Yeah,
make him a tough defensive team. Run the ball. You have a good quarterback. I like Drake May over Ryan Tannehill. What we had in with Tennessee. For sure. So he's the right team. And Ben Johnson, we're hearing his name a lot. For some reason,
chill.
I think he's the Adam Gase.
Oh, I don't know if he's
I think he's the Adam Gase. I think Adam Gase got the Peyton Manning. You were with Peyton Manning. Oh, this is the hot, sexy new OC
with Jared Goff.
I was gonna say, is Jared Goff the comp there? Or
Bro, he had to make Amon-Ra St. Brown into a thing. He had to,
Whoa.
No, stop. Amon-Ra was a
he
beast.
was always good.
no, but like
He had to make
no.
Jared Goff to a thing.
Well, yeah, either way, most of these guys, like David Montgomery was a throwaway, and he made him into a like.
No, he was a beast in Chicago.
He never had 1,000 yards in when he was Chicago. That's why they let him go.
I'm not with the Montgomery and Amon-Ra thing, but I do think it's impressive what he's done with Jared Goff. Like, Jared Goff was a throwaway. Like, that was a true throwaway.
And that's what I'm saying. Someone like Drake May, that's the kind of guy you want to pair him up with.
But I do like in my ranking, head coach ranking, Vrabel is clearly above Ben Johnson because we know Vrabel can bring a culture to a whole organization. We don't know Ben Johnson can do that. We've seen X and O guys flame out all the time because they're not a leader of men. I think that's all for the news. Let's take a quick break, and then we have a lot to get into with Week 18 playoff scenarios. Quick update on the Lions and Vikings game. You guys have the final score on that? I know Lions obviously won.
Win 31-9.
Man, we'll talk about that in a second. Be right back.
Real quick, we had to pause the show because Gabe had to take a massive shit.
Oh, yeah. Gabe, let's get an update. Gabe, how you feeling?
I am so going to get you back.
Listen, you told everyone that I had fucking chlamydia.
Locked
Took a
in.
while there, bro.
We wanna
I was
continue.
gone for 5 minutes.
Oh,
It
right.
wasn't that-
We got a clock. You're going for at least 10 minutes.
I left my phone up here.
We looked at like
Wow,
6 rosters.
you're an animal. You're
Raw?
just raw dog in the bathroom.
Look, I was.
You're a psychopath.
You went full 1900s.
I mean, that was great.
Gabe, you can put up the wild card weekend.
Got you.
Final matchups as we go through these games where we'll talk about how this affected each other. Some of these games, obviously, I'm going to mention very quickly because they just
Don't matter.
But I'll talk about this one because, listen, Bryce Young.
Nice.
Listen,
Bryce Young.
Stroud.
Bryce Young is
Don't get Terrell started.
Bryce Young is very good. Bryce Young is good.
He's
playing good.
He might be catching up to CJ because CJ took a big step back. Bryce took a big step forward.
Big and with way less weapons.
250, 3 touchdowns today. That's just through the air. Also added 2 more through the ground. 5
I
total
know.
touchdowns.
Last week they got blown out
in a must-win game, which is the Falcons.
I forgot who the reporter was. There was a report that they saw the owners, him and his wife, after the game.
That was
and like they said from ear to ear, like I think we got our guy.
Yeah, and
so exciting.
And that was said again in the presser by Dave Canales. So they're gonna go with Bryce Young next year.
Get him some weapons.
I think he's earned it, man.
Yeah.
Like what he was done.
He was benched.
He was done. Like
for
okay,
QB1.
we're moving on. Andy Dalton's gonna start. Good for Bryce Young,
for Bryce.
man.
Good for
Back
Bryce.
from the dead. Goodness gracious.
Good for you, buddy.
I like the guy. I like him.
This was an entertaining game. This was a fun game to watch.
Yeah, fun.
44-38. No defense.
No
played.
defense. None.
And that is probably one of the main reasons why the Falcons are going to miss the playoffs here.
Yeah.
They just didn't learn how to play defense all year. I thought Michael Penix played fine. I thought it was his best game yet.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
I've been saying I feel like he needed the whole year.
312, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. I mean, he was playing the Panthers defense, so
Yeah.
a little asterisk there. I think they allowed the most either most yards per game or points. I think it was yards per game like ever.
But both these teams, like the future looks pretty bright.
Yeah. I mean, at 5-12, I got to imagine the Panthers are picking somewhere
Panthers
before
are
15.
are picking
but
8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're not
Top 8 pick.
not going to be a great quarterback prospect there. So, I'm good with
Yeah.
sticking. Any objection to them sticking with Bryce Young?
No, I mean he looked good. Beef up that offensive line because he was.
Offensive line is fine.
Yeah, he will.
They have a weapons issue over there.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of weapons, but I think he was definitely running around for his life at the beginning of the season. I think you can add more. I think you can add more to the O line, but I like the guy.
Defense needs some help. All the help.
Defense is bad.
All the help. Like actually get all the money towards defense. But yeah, good for the Panthers.
Falcons lose, and the Bucks won 27-19. Another good game,
Yep.
divisional game. I think Gabe was telling me as we were watching these games, like, just bravo to the NFL for getting it right this year, the schedule. It was fun because of all the things that were happening simultaneously,
Yeah.
namely these 2 games.
Yeah.
This you had Baker Mayfield and Bryce Young going back and forth.
Yeah. And then
And Baker, did you see? I mean, it's real quick. Did you see the touchdown pass Baker had on the sideline? Just the toe tap.
Yeah.
Just do a dart on the run.
Yeah.
Man, beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean they got off to a slow start, but they pulled it out at the end.
Bucks won 27-19. The reason that's important because the Bucks then clinch the NFC South.
Yep.
And they will move on to the playoffs to take on Angels and Terrell's Washington Commanders. We were not going to pick this game, but they gave it the Sunday night nightcap.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of fun.
They think a lot of it.
Trying to push out Jaden Daniels
Maybe.
as the next star.
But yeah, I mean, let's talk. I guess we talk Bucks. They take care of business against the Saints. I don't want to talk a second about the Saints.
No.
But
Yeah, we got Mike Evans.
Mike Evans,
Mike
Good for
Evans
him.
get 1,000 yard receiving.
$3 million earned today.
$3 million.
Okay, he ties Jerry Rice. Does this give you a little bit of a thing like, was Jerry Rice really that good, or was he?
No, Mike Evans has been incredible.
No, but it's like Mike Evans has never been the top wideout in the league, and Mike Evans did what Jerry Rice did.
He did one of the things that Jerry Rice did.
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. This doesn't cheapen Jerry Rice to me at all.
Yeah, no. He's
No, they're both
I don't
good.
know how
But,
Jerry Rice got in this.
no, because he tied Jerry Rice, or he beat Jerry Rice or whatever. I was like, well, Mike Evans can do it. I mean, Jerry Rice.
Yeah, but Jerry Rice did that along with 10 other things that are the best ever.
I don't know. Maybe Jerry Rice was just ahead of his time. But either way, give her Mike Evans.
Wait a minute. Why are we going at Jerry Rice right now?
As soon as
He's like what's his name?
Cal Ripken?
Cal Ripken Jr. It's like his numbers are never going to be touched because they're just
You don't hear Jerry Rice's records talked about a lot because they're just so far out.
Mike Evans too busy.
Yeah,
breaking
they're
them.
super far out for anyone
Mike
else.
Evans too busy breaking them. He's the first ballot Hall of Famer. World champion, has his record now.
Yeah.
Been good for over a decade. He's the first ballot Hall of Famer.
Oh, yeah.
I forget he does have a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Yeah, good for
Anyone
him.
object to that? Mike Evans first?
Oh, yeah. First
Not at
ballot.
all.
You think in a dynasty league you should keep him another year or two? Or
We'll see.
Should you drop him?
I think you should send him somewhere.
You should send him to a team that wants.
You should send him to a rising.
I was about to drop him. And then he finished. I'm like, oh, he's actually still.
You know what they did too? They had a lead and they forched the last catch to make sure he got the
As they
1,000
should.
yards.
You know what's funny? Is all week he was like, I don't really care. You know,
Yeah.
Yes,
and then
he
when you see when he got it, he
Slammed
spiked
the
the
ball.
ball.
Yeah. Good for him. No, he's been a lot of shit teams over
They
at
got it
Tampa.
with 30 seconds left in the game.
Yeah.
And they were up one score.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could have gone real bad, and they just lost.
I mean,
their
it
chance
went
to make the
perfectly,
playoffs.
but yeah, it could. It could.
Mike Evans.
I
Built,
think he had 16 targets.
Yeah.
They force fed that man.
Good for him.
But going into the playoffs, Mike Evans obviously is back. He's healthy.
Yeah.
Looks good. McMillan's been a nice number 2 for them.
Bucky Irvin's still doing his thing.
Irving,
Kate Ott's servable. Bucky Irvin's awesome. He wasn't good today, but he's very, very good. And then Baker Mayfield. It's how far can Baker carry you?
Yeah.
Come on, Bake.
Are
We'll
you,
see.
Are you
Watch-
scared that they gave up a massive amount of points lately?
Well, as much as we love them, there's a reason why they barely won the division in Week 18.
Yeah.
I love Baker as much as America does, but there's a reason why they were.
I feel like they're like the Bengals, only the better side of it. They play their competition, and they'll win more games than they'll lose.
You know.
Yeah, I mean,
Kind of the same as the Bengals.
I would imagine, I don't have the schedule in front of me, but I imagine their wins are pretty impressive because they're a big game hunter, right?
Yeah, they beat the Lions,
Pull that up for
This
you.
is a team that lost to Dallas on Sunday Night Football 2 weeks ago.
but,
Well,
but
yeah,
they've had,
I'm sure they've had some low
but they
moments
beat the
too.
Lions in Detroit.
But they can get up
In
for
week
a big
2,
team.
in week 2.
Doesn't matter. The Lions were healthy. Exactly. That's even crazier.
They beat the Eagles, right?
Yeah.
Just looking at their schedule here, they beat the Commanders early on. They beat the Lions. They beat the Eagles. Lost to the Broncos. There you go, Inch.
They got smoked.
They lost. They did lose to the Ravens. They did lose to the Chiefs. So they have good losses and they have some bad losses.
Yeah.
Like any
Chiefs
500
game was
team.
close.
It's
It at
definitely a
least
flip.
gives you a hope of okay, they have a chance against good teams, though.
Yeah, I can't wait to pick it, but there's a good chance they're winning. We'll see.
We'll pick it on Friday's episode.
We'll see.
Let's back up actually a little bit here, back to Saturday because some stuff went down on Saturday. Ravens beat the Browns. Browns. See ya. We'll see you next.
See you. Goodbye.
Enjoy a top pick. Ravens 35-10. They look incredible. They're healthy.
Derrick Henry is pretty close to 2,000 yards himself.
1,900.
Good for him.
He's less than 100 yards away from 2,000. No one talks about him, but he had a great year.
Yeah.
Ravens going into the playoffs, though. We talked about it so much. I mean,
They know where.
put up or shut up.
Yeah. You couldn't. He's about to. He might win MVP. He probably will win MVP. I don't care. Win 3 playoff games and then come back to me. Remember when Peyton Manning could have won the big one and people were getting tired of Peyton Manning talk, and then he won the big one that's different level. This is where Lamar Jackson is now. I'm tired of MVP talks because you're a final player. Win a Super Bowl.
I am too, but man, his stats this year are crazy.
I know, but they were crazy last year and they're crazy
But
the year
this
before
is
that.
the most crazy he's ever gone off.
Yeah.
Almost 1,000 rushing yards.
And the
over
right
4,000
personnel
passing
around
yards.
him. He has a running back that's going for 2,000 on nearly 2,000 yards. That's exactly what he didn't have
They
all
fixed
the other
the
years.
defense.
Hopefully,
Yes.
hopefully it's enough.
I don't know. We'll see. Terrell, confidence in the Ravens going to the playoffs.
Ravens are scary. I would not be surprised if they're in the Super Bowl this year.
I think you picked them right when we did that.
Yeah. I said it. I picked I said the new running back QB tandems. I said Jalen Hurts and Saquon,
Yeah.
and then Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. Those are going to be huge. So I like both of those teams.
Yeah.
But Baltimore they are getting hot quick, and their opponent is not.
Well, luckily enough, they're playing Russell Wilson twice in 2 weeks. That's a key recipe to success.
All right, guys. I was gonna have you take off your hats, but I tried to take off my hat, and it was a disaster.
That's why I didn't put the camera on
But
you.
we're gonna do a little moment of silence here for the season that was in Cincinnati. Joe Burrow going absolutely bonkers. Jamar Chase.
Triple Crown winner, right?
Well, how many touchdowns he had? Almost 20 touchdowns.
17.
Touchdowns. I mean, just almost 1,800, over 1,800 yards.
I was looking at things today. His average game was 7 catches for 108 yards and 1 touchdown.
And yet they will miss the playoffs. It ends there on the arm of Carson Wentz. They put all their hopes and dreams in Carson Wentz and the Chiefs backups in. Did not go well.
Joe Burrow said it best too. He's like, we put ourselves in, like, they were 4-8. Like, they put themselves in that position, for whatever reason.
Moment of silence for the Cincinnati Bengals, 2024. All right, moment passed. They beat the Steelers though on Saturday night.
Are you? So you're running back the head coach? Because we've been on and off.
Am I running it back with head coach? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Zac Taylor.
Yeah.
I think he's fine.
It's just off here.
I don't know what it was because I like the DC too. Like Lou Amarillo has a very respected name.
You finished
around
stronger
the
than you
around the
started,
league.
yeah.
Like he would get hired right away.
Yeah.
Sometimes there isn't a reason. Sometimes you just couldn't close out games. And it's going to come and it's going to go. They have the roster to make sure that probably was never going to happen again.
But yeah. Well, we never know because
They
might lose.
At the moment, they have the roster.
They might lose Henderson. They might lose T.
Yeah, they haven't paid anyone on the team yet.
They're like, I'm not sure yet.
Terrell, you cool running it back with all the coaching staff?
I don't know about Zac Taylor. I mean, yes, he's been to the Super Bowl with this team and been to been to 2 AFC championships and the Super Bowl. But man, this team always starts bad, and then they have great Decembers. Joe Burrow, I can't remember his record, but it's unbelievable in December. Like he's got a crazy good record in December. They finish strong, but they start slow. I don't know. Can you keep doing that every single year?
Putting that pressure on yourselves.
I'd say if it happens again next year, you fire him before halfway through the season.
I think you give him a shot.
We can't do this anymore.
I think you give him another year because he's been to the Super Bowl.
Especially if you spend a summer writing paychecks.
Yeah.
Like we can't do this anymore.
Say you sign T to like 35 a year, then you sign Jamar to like 40, and then you have to extend Hendrickson.
T isn't going anywhere, by the way.
Really?
It sounds like if Joe Burrow has anything to do with it, T. Higgins is going to be a Bengal.
T. Higgins is.
Like he has been very outspoken.
By the way, on this heater where he was going off, he was playing with a high ankle sprain.
Well, he left the game out. I don't know if he would have played week 1 of the playoffs.
But
So,
still, like,
but
he was
impressive.
hurt. It's impressive though.
T's great. He's
amazing.
a great fit. The chemistry's already there. You pay him.
So we'll see. This team.
But we got to look at the other side of this game. The Pittsburgh Steelers are going to the playoffs. They're back in the way of the playoffs. I think they've lost 4 straight. They lost to all the playoff teams that Russell Wilson has faced. And they're going to have, going into the playoffs, I got to look at this. Another AFC North foe back to Baltimore. In Baltimore.
The only hope is that because Tomlin's pretty good against Lamar. That's the only hope. Like, I think he's 2-9
That's
or 2.
true.
Yeah,
That's true.
That's the only hope is that the coaching will outdo it. But I'm done with the Steelers and the Texans too. I'm done with Pittsburgh.
Can I ask you guys a crazy question? Do you think it's the right move to bench Russell Wilson and start Justin Fields in the playoffs?
Absolutely.
I want one at a time here. Angel, what do you think?
It looks like you don't know what you're doing if you do that. You go back, flip flop. That your team doesn't know what. Yeah, it sends a bad message.
That being said, who do you think gives them a better chance to win?
Doesn't matter. I would say Russ, but I don't really believe it.
Russ. Guys, do you think that's the right move?
I definitely agree with you, Angel, that it's very much irresponsible to do it. But we've seen Russell Wilson. I've been saying this for a couple weeks now. He's hit his ceiling. We know what he is. He can't play from behind. I don't think he can get into a shootout. With a guy like Lamar that's coming in the kind of season he has, he's going to have to maybe get into a playoff game where he has to throw 3 or 4. I don't think he can do that anymore.
I don't think Fields can do that either.
I mean, I don't think Fields can do it either, but I would like Fields his chances to even compete a lot more than I would the other guy.
Terrell, would you do it?
No, you can't. You can't do this to your team going into the playoffs like this. Like that's. Now he definitely can get some reps. I think you can maybe try what they were doing early on in the season when he was healthy. Now he's back to 100%. So you definitely give him some reps, but you can't. You got to ride your season out. That's the guy you went with. But Tomlin and Russ are on the hot seat because
You think Tom's on the hot seat?
Tomlin's got to be on the hot seat. I mean, it's been
3 coaching since the 70s.
It's the same thing.
10 years.
The same thing.
But almost 15 years now, I think.
What,
Since
him as
they
coach?
won the Super Bowl.
That was
Right?
when Ben Roethlisberger was.
the Big Ben Super Bowl? Yeah. That's
Yeah,
a long time.
2009.
That's a long time.
2009. So it's been 15 years since they last won a Super Bowl, and
And they have such an old school mentality. They're like the least, they're like top or bottom 3 in like offensive paid players and like top 4 in like defense. Like, you have this old school philosophy with this coach who can't get over the hump. It's just,
I'm saying he hasn't done. Like, yes, you get those. Oh, I haven't had a losing record in all of these years.
Yeah.
But you haven't won anything of significance. He's like the what's his name from the Bengals for all those years, Marvin Lewis.
Marvin Lewis, yeah.
You got to just hang around.
Not just because he's black, because of his record.
Yeah.
That's one.
That was never even questioned.
But I think they're both on the hot seat. I think Russ, if he comes out and plays a mediocre game, throw 62% of his complete 62% of his passes.
So just a Russell Wilson game.
1 touchdown, 1
Still a
interception.
normal game, Russell.
And they lose like 26-7, he's out. You go Justin Fields then.
And also, me and Gabe, we've been saying this, they have a weapons problem. Pickens had a terrible game. He had no one else to turn to.
Pickens also not. I get he's like incredible, like in his moments.
He dropped 3 passes today.
But yeah, he had a terrible game. He had like his worst game of the season. He is coming off the injury, but that's just not the guy you want to rely on.
Yeah. You need another guy.
Like he's too up and down. Like,
You know who they need? Like a Deontay Johnson would be sweet for them. like a guy who catches everything.
No, I mean they need like a star. They need someone to actually run it. You don't run an offense to George Pickens.
Tyreek?
George Pickens is he has a nice one-trick pony, and he does it incredibly well. But they try to make a whole offense out of that. We're going to have Russell Wilson here. We're going to run the ball, and we're going to take a million deep shots at George Pickens. That worked against non-playoff teams, and it worked for a couple games. I think they lost the season. They lost the ceiling to what this team could be when they benched Justin Fields. Because at least you had like the unknown of what the offense could have been with Justin Fields. If I'm the coach, F it, man. I put Justin Fields in.
Is it safe to say Russ was the problem in Denver last year?
Has he not been the same guy? He didn't have a terrible season last year either.
Yeah, terrible season.
He like 20. I think it was 20 touchdowns and like
26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions.
In last year in
Last
Denver.
year in Denver.
It's insane. It's the same guy. He's the same guy. He put up great numbers. Did he win any big games?
Denver's in the
Not
playoffs
mattered.
this year. We'll talk about them later. But
So is Pittsburgh.
we're seeing how Pittsburgh has.
So I'm the only one benching Russ. You guys are all going down with the shit.
No,
I don't think you
I'm
can do
not
that.
at all.
You
I just think
cannot
it's
go into
weird
the playoffs.
going back to Fields.
If you were to do that, it would have had to have been Saturday's game. Saturday's game is the game you do it.
Just for clarification, I'm with you.
Oh, you're benching Russ?
Yes, I'm benching Russ. I think we've seen the best we're gonna see out of him, and it's not gonna be enough to beat a Ravens team. I'll tell you that much.
If Tomlin believes his job is at stake, then you go with Justin.
I think it's a loser.
But I don't think he thinks he's gonna get lose his job. I think he's pretty secure in his job, so I think he's gonna stay with Russ.
It's a lose situation all the way through. No matter who starts, they're not going to win. They don't have enough weapons or nothing.
If you put Justin Fields in and he wins a couple games in the playoffs,
Even if he wins one
that's it.
against the
You
Ravens,
trust Justin going against this Ravens defense is playing
I'll
outright.
trust Justin to win this game.
You think he'll come in against this defense?
So Angel said Russ gives you best chance to win against the Ravens. You think?
Yeah,
You think
against this team.
What?
I think if they were going to Houston, yes, I go Justin Fields, but not this Ravens defense is playing unreal right now.
Gabe, does Russ give him the best chance to win?
no.
I guess me and you're the ones who.
Yeah, no. I just don't believe he's gonna be able to keep up with an elite offensive unit on the other side.
Yeah, we'll see. I can't imagine there's going to be very many people at all picking the Steelers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even
Are
on
they playing
this-
Saturday?
Even on this
Playing
show.
Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Yeah, in this show, I don't know if anyone will.
But it's crazy to think the Steelers they lost to Buffalo last year and they made it with Mason Rudolph, and we're all saying they're one quarterback away. If they had a quarterback, they would have beat the Bills last year.
By the way, he looked absolutely freezing on the sideline.
I think he was sick.
Like
He
looked
looked
like he was
miserable. Yeah.
like he looked.
His eyes are glassy. Maybe
It was 19 degrees.
Maybe he was drunk.
He needs to go to Miami.
Yeah, he
Finish the career in
he
Miami.
needs some Miami,
And Miami would love to make the playoffs every year. They would be cool with that.
yeah, that's their. Well, they make the playoffs now. Well, not this year.
All right, we need to talk Broncos. Broncos Bills here coming up. The Broncos take care of the Chiefs backups, 38-0.
The game was over by the first.
It was
quarter.
it was the perfect tune-up game for the Broncos. Did the Chiefs care at all about this game? Absolutely not. But the Broncos, I think it's important for them that the vibes are up, that Bo Nix had a nice strong game, and that it was a celebration for Denver today. So I think it's a win in that sense. I don't put much stock in 38-0 against the Chiefs, but I think a win in that the vibes are incredible, as good as they can be right now. You got Bo Nix, and you're going to need the good vibes because you're going to Buffalo, and no one's going to pick you either. But, I mean, going to the playoffs, I think this version of the Broncos is the best you could have hoped for.
The Broncos, win or lose this weekend, they were so fun to watch this year.
They already won this year. They already won this year.
The season is a success. You've made the playoffs after an 8-season drought.
Yep.
They looked good in those uniforms again. They got to make a case for those to be the primaries.
They're the best in the business.
At least to make more than 2 appearances next year. But I like this game for the reason mainly for the defense to pitch the shutout. Like, yes, they had Carson Wentz in the backup stage, but they needed some confidence because this defense was getting smoked all of December. Like they were giving up numbers from last year, like giving up nearly 500 yards a game. I mean, they were getting torched by the Bengals, torched by the Browns, the Chargers. So it was good for this defense to get some confidence. Riley Moss back for 2 weeks in a row. Benito, all those guys. So I think that was good for the defense's sake.
I'm not going to push back on anything you guys want to say right now. This is your day.
Go
The
ahead.
Broncos made the
Have
playoffs.
Have it.
I like this. I'm not
Defense
putting
played incredible.
the defense. I think it's just a good, like you said, the word vibes.
Yeah.
That's what it gave. It gave us some energy and momentum, tune up. I wasn't gonna say like, the Chiefs, we dominated the Chiefs. It was just a good. Hey, this feels good. We got a shot in the arm versus.
You did say one of the first things when you walked to the studio today is that you're not worried about the Bills.
I am not afraid of the Bills. Look, I like this game. I like this game. I like us at 10 a.m. It's almost like a hidden game.
Yeah, you're stoked about the time.
It's a hidden game. It's the 10 o'clock game. It's not prime time. It's a game where we can just dial in and lock in. Look, we could have easily won like 16-10 today and just came out and played, flat, played scared.
Yeah.
But they locked in and they were dialed in on getting to the playoffs. The team has momentum. They have some energy. It's a good tune-up game. I'm not saying the Broncos we're for sure going to knock out the Bills, but don't be surprised if we beat the Bills on Saturday.
Listen, Tim Tebow beat the Pittsburgh Steelers once upon a time. Okay.
But, Angel, I want to bring you back to a moment in time, and I'll play that video now.
Broncos are on the clock, so nothing else matters.
Holy
You know?
crap.
And the pick is in already.
Wow.
Sean Payton makes it no time.
Bo Nix, Spencer Rattler, any chance?
Bo Nix at 12.
Any chance?
Look, the speed in which that pick flew in, it might be Bo Nix. If it's Bo Nix, let's just do it. I'm all in. I won't have anything negative to say. I can't get over Bo Nix. It would be too high for a Bo Nix that may be a reach. Here comes Roger.
Here we go, boys. Broncos.
In the 2024 NFL Draft, the Denver Broncos select Bo Nix.
Whoa! Angel has left the building. Bo Nix. Okay, I just played the video from the bench party when they called Bo Nix his name, and you walked out of the room. And now here you are. I want you to have your victory lap, my friend. Here you are going to the playoffs. Oh. Bo Nix is the guy. I mean, the vibes are up in the locker room, but the vibes are up in the fandom as well.
Yeah, I'll read some of his stats this year. 3,700 yards, 29 passing touchdowns, 12 picks, 430 rushing yards, 4 rushing touchdowns, 1 receiving touchdown, and a playoff berth since Peyton Manning left. Yeah, I think it's an overwhelming success. And I think picking him as the last quarterback picked in the first round, is just a testament to what Sean Payton and George Payton saw, that this kid, he's been in college a lot, but maybe that's a good thing. Maybe he's seen a lot. Maybe he's seen a lot of defense. Maybe
he was ready to go right away.
He was
not right away, but yeah.
If Sean Payton just had bigger gonads, he might have been able to get this last week against Cincinnati.
Yep.
And I like Burrow's a wild horse sometimes, but sometimes these young quarterbacks, they're talented, and that's just him being a rookie. I love Burrow. I think Bo. I love Bo. Bo's great.
Okay.
Yeah, Bo's great, and like I said, even if we lose by 40 to the Bills, which could happen, or we win, either way, Bronco Nation won because we found a quarterback.
That's a win.
I do not see us losing by 40 points.
No, I'm saying like it doesn't matter what happens because like I'm already happy with the season.
Look,
It's all just a bonus at this point.
Look, this is a team that's 6 of their 7 losses came within 1 score.
Yeah, no.
Don't do this to yourself, Terrell.
Look, I'm not. This is not me saying we have no chance to win. I'm just saying like I don't care what happens. If we win, great. If we lose, okay.
Look,
next
I
year.
think we're getting a lot of. I think we're getting a lot of hate and pushback from Joey because we're 10-7, but we were in.
I'm not getting hate. I'm just saying. Okay, no, it's your day. It's your day. Go ahead.
I mean, look, we're a block field goal away from Kansas City. We're Sean Payton going for 2 against Cincinnati. You look at the Chargers games; those games came down to the wire. So, and our 2 losses. If we played Pittsburgh and Seattle, those two losses came at the beginning of the season. You play both of those teams now, we're beating both of those teams. So this is, in the games we've won, we smoked them. We smoked our opponents in the games we've won.
Yeah.
So 1-6 in 1-score losses. That's just a sign of a young team. I think this is probably more of the same. I think Denver keeps it close. Buffalo probably wins this game by a touchdown.
We think a respectable effort is what you're
respectable effort. I think Buffalo wins this game.
Tell you what, if
I say 27 to 18.
Oh, he's already calling it.
If I see some Bo Nix magic in the first quarter, I'm gonna start believing. Because sometimes he'll do some shit. I'm like, damn, this kid's got a little bit of that.
I tell you what, this is when you're gonna need Sean Payton to be Sean Payton.
He's got to be ballsy in this game.
Like, bro, we need you. We need
He's gotta be
we know the
aggressive.
old Sean Payton. We need the big game coach. Yeah, we need the aggression.
Yeah.
We need the beautiful timing with plays. Like, we need you to cook.
It's a great time too because like the expectations, like you just said, are very low for the
And
Broncos.
there's no one's gonna pick
no,
us.
yeah, no.
All the
It-
pressure's on Buffalo.
It really reminds me of the Packers of last year. It was the same thing. We went to the playoffs. Vibes are great. We shouldn't be there, but we are there. Just go. We're against the Cowboys. Just go crazy. If you lose, you lose. Fine. No, it's fine. So yeah, I'm actually with that. Just go out there on Saturday.
Go ahead, Bo.
And just let it all hang out, baby.
Look, the Bills have had some games where they've looked suspect. So I'm just saying.
I'm not with that.
They struggled with the Pats 2 weeks ago.
Hey, man, it's your day. It's your day.
I'm just saying.
It should be a good game. Looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it.
I can't wait. You know what? Now at first I was like, all right, I'm glad with the season, but now I'm disappointed if we lose this game. Because of the hate right now.
I'm not getting hate. I'm just.
You guys are like, oh, all right.
Because it's the
good
Bills.
luck.
I think the money line will say the same thing, and I don't think that's hate. I think it's just looking at what has happened this year.
The Bills' defense isn't great. All right. I'm just saying.
Oh, man,
I'm not.
see.
They are of the top teams. I'm afraid of them the least.
I tell you what, I won't be mad at it. That'd be awesome to see if the Broncos could go into Buffalo and be Buffalo. And I love Buffalo, but jeez.
Yeah.
You know what'd be so funny about that is that if that were to happen, it'd be like, well, I guess Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl. You just got rid of their major threat.
Sure, Chiefs would be
so the
so
Broncos,
thankful.
you're doing the Chiefs
Baltimore's
a big
still
favor.
playing well, and
Yeah.
Well, we all know how we feel about Baltimore.
if we beat Buffalo, you're gonna see a whole. Yeah, I'll come in saying we'll beat Kansas City too.
Let's
Where's
wrap
that field goal
up
away?
the AFC side of this. Chargers going to play the Texans. They won today. They're already locked in to their spot. Texans, I think, still did some maneuvering today or something like that. But basically, we're going to end up with the Texans and the Chargers, the first game that we're going to see in the playoffs Saturday morning. Texans playing the first game of the playoffs just seems like what the NFL is going to do from now on. But going into the playoffs, I couldn't think of 2 more organizations that are just different. I feel like the Texans are the young punk kid, wildly irresponsible, delinquent on all his credit cards. But if he gets you, like, he's immensely talented. The Chargers are just the responsible. We're going to do everything as boring as possible. We're going to build our credit long term. We're not going to borrow any money ever. It's just a clash of styles in every way
Classic
imaginable.
bull versus bear. You know what I'm saying?
We're not going to pick this game yet, but going into the playoffs, I mean, I don't know if anyone's picking these teams to make another round. Either of them.
No, I have more confidence. Charles, I have more confidence in the Broncos and probably both these teams.
Same.
Yeah.
Really?
Terrell, what are you talking about? You said them being the Bills.
No, I'm saying
He picked the Bills.
Yeah, I picked the Bills, but I'm
I
saying
don't
the
have
Chargers,
any confidence.
You don't.
in
You're not.
Houston.
You're not in the Chargers. Like you don't.
No.
I would pick the Chargers over the Texans.
Okay, look, everyone's disappointed. Cincinnati didn't make it. They're like, oh, damn, the Chiefs threw the game. The Broncos made it. Cincinnati should be in there over Houston. That's the team nobody wants to see in there. Houston's not good.
That's gonna be.
They're not a good playoff team.
I think the Chargers are going to win fairly
The
easily.
Chargers are going to win. Yeah, they're going to smoke. They're going to smoke them.
They're making
they're
picks today.
Easily going to win.
I know, right? It's
But
hard not to.
That's the team everybody was gunning for. Of those bottom of the Steelers, Chargers, Broncos trying to make that run. Everybody was
The
trying
two
to play
teams
Houston.
everyone wanted to play, they're playing each other. Like the two teams, like, oh, I want to play the Chargers. I want to play the Texans.
Yeah, the Chargers are going to beat up on the Texans. Texans are not a good team.
Packers end up as the number 7 seed? 7 seed, and they're going to go to Philly next week and play the Eagles. And we're going to talk about it a lot, I'm sure, on Friday. But obviously, you're going to have Gabe versus me and AJ. I feel like the Packers and the Eagles have had in my lifetime, some pretty epic playoff games.
I mean, week 1 was great.
Yeah, week 1 was awesome in Brazil with
Anita.
Shout
out to Anita.
So
Fantastic
we'll
follow
dive
on
into that one a little more on Friday. Fair enough?
Yeah.
But the Eagles are going to win. All right, let's move on. Okay.
I'm with you,
But
Joey,
let's we talked about Commanders,
you are.
Bucks. Let's finish up here with the
No,
Lions.
no, hold on.
What happened?
Nothing. Never mind. We'll save it for the week.
Okay, the Lions smoked the Vikings tonight.
Statement, my friend.
Yeah, statement game, and I'll raise my hand as I had this completely wrong. I thought this is going to go the total
The other
opposite
way,
way. Let's talk Vikings, Lions first. This game all dwindled out to one thing, and that was red zone efficiency. And the Lions, I mean, bravo to that defense holding up in the red zone the way they did. It was they could not get anything done in the red zone.
No, Sam Darnold had a little bit of the seeing. He was throwing the ball hot.
He was high in a
He
lot of
missed.
throws.
He missed about 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
There was a Justin Jefferson one that he just completely missed, and there was one where they went for on 4th down, and Naylor was coming back across the street, and he just across the end zone, and he just missed it.
Why'd the Naylor cross the road?
Drop the touchdown.
This is how we are. No, Sam Darnold just he disappointed. This team.
Yeah,
Darnold
you know,
kind of choked a little bit.
yeah, you know what? That's kind of what we didn't want to see. Well, the question's
Yeah.
been: is he worth paying? Is he worth
Yep.
moving on? Now, this was essentially a playoff game today, and it was like you didn't perform the way we wanted you to. Even if they, I mean, let's say they lost. Let's say he goes out there and he has a good game still. I'm okay with it. But the fact that you're over stuff that you haven't been doing for weeks, you're doing it in this game now. It's no surprise. It's against a divisional team. It's a big game, a number 1 seed on the road, which now you're really going to be on the road. So. This is the first time I'm actually taking a step back on Sam Darnold, which I've been very high on in like the last month or so.
Yeah. So if Vikings are going to play the Rams, in LA, but if the Vikings win, they play the Lions again. So we might see a rematch in 2 weeks.
But yeah, I mean, I
No,
want to stay on the thing Gabe was talking about that with Sam Darnold, because we talked a lot about Sam Darnold and his contract. Going to this game, this was the biggest game of Sam Darnold's career. Like what he had to show, everyone was watching.
Yeah.
You had to show that you were the guy that they could give that kind of contract to, and be confident that you're going to win these type of games, or at least show up. And he just completely wet the bed.
Yeah.
Like he missed throws all night long. And let's not give Jared Goff pass either. He didn't have a great game either. Like threw a bad pick six.
He had a couple.
Got away with intentional grounding in the
he
end
got
zone.
away with another pick too.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
one
so-
Van Ginkel dropped.
Yes, he dropped that.
Van
yeah.
Ginkel's good at that.
Yeah, he is.
I don't know if that's like a.
That would have been like his 3rd or 4th.
Yeah, that's
Third,
he's
yeah.
good at.
Something like that, yeah.
So not the game the Vikings want, basically is what I'm trying to say. They're going to go, like I just said, play the Rams. These are not the vibes you want. You lost bad. You lost bad to your rival, and you went from the 1 seed to the 5 seed, and you won't play at home again this postseason.
And that's a tough road too, because assuming the Eagles do take the Packers out, let's say the Vikings do win that first game, they're most likely going to play against an Eagles team in Philadelphia.
In Philly,
So
yeah.
that's it's pretty tough for them.
I think Darnold definitely lost his case for comeback player of the year. In this game.
I would say I wouldn't go that far, but yes, it did hurt him today.
Yeah, I think Burrow locked
Really?
that up. I think Burrow sewed it up tonight. This was like if Darnold came in
It's hard. Yeah, that's good.
and moved and got the 1 seed and played well, he's the comeback player of the year. But to go from the bench and then to be the starter and nobody just expect you to be the bridge and to get your team 15 wins. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's the comeback player of the year. But I think Burrow gets it this year.
Yeah, that was kind of what I was thinking too, and I was talking about that. Where like both quarterbacks lost, but which one actually looked like he was set to win the game? That was Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
So
Vikings going into the playoffs, going to play the Rams. The vibes are not good, and I think that's the biggest thing here. Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
If they lose again next week after this performance,
You still sign him?
that's going to be the question.
Yeah.
That's going to be the question.
Yeah,
like, do
I'm
you give
with you.
Sam Darnold 3 years, $50 million a year after he choked on Sunday Night Football with the number 1 seed on the line against division opponent, and then he loses to the Rams.
I think it was one done. Like, we'll go with JJ. We'll save about
think so.
we'll save about $50 million too.
Do you think that's what happens?
I think if they're one and done, I don't think you go right to JJ. I think you just let him play out. It was a 2-year contract, so you just let him play out that
So
contract.
you don't extend him?
You don't extend him. You just, hey, you let him play it out, and then we can.
Did he sign a 2-year?
No, he's a free agent.
It's a 2-year deal.
No, Sam Darnold is a free agent.
We have the internet. I could check it. But what were you saying, Joe?
But we can check it. But I believe it's 2. If it's a 2-year deal, then he gets. Then you let him play out you give him a short lease next year.
I'm pretty sure we'd have heard if he signed next
Sam
year.
Darnold is on a 1-year, $10 million deal.
Yeah, he's a
1 year, 10 million.
yeah. So he's
He's an unrestricted free
he's
agent.
an unrestricted free agent
So they could franchise tag him
for like the average of a quarterback.
at $50 million.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. If he's a one and done,
That wouldn't be
that's what you
bad.
do. That's what you do.
That's exactly what you do, though.
Franchise him.
You don't commit
I know
to him.
he doesn't want that, but
You
that's
say
a smart
50
move.
mil, and we know that
Franchise him then.
What are they? 14-3?
yeah.
Yeah, I'd give him another year
Yeah, and it's like, hey, Sam, if you do this again though,
because
JJ's ready.
JJ's a project quarterback. JJ didn't.
Easy. JJ's ready to go right now.
No, he's a project guy.
Yeah, he is.
He's definitely.
But
a
he's
project.
also just like 22.
Yeah, he's
He's a young guy.
He's young. He didn't get a.
He fight like a young man.
A ton of like big games. It was a lot of running the football.
Nothing held back.
A lot of throwing the football for him. So it was a lot of running in Michigan on that in that offense. So
Yeah.
I think he's definitely a project guy.
Let's talk about the Rams. What's your confidence in them going in there into Minnesota?
I think you. If
Or
you're the Rams,
actually,
They're not
Minnesota.
going into
no,
Minnesota.
they're going to host
Minnesota.
this game, and I think. But like Terrell said, they might have the biggest. LA might have the biggest Vikings fan base other than Minnesota.
I think this is the upset.
But if I'm the Rams, I feel like I could win this game. I have every opportunity to win this game.
You feel like Stafford's good against the blitz. I feel like Puka Nacua is healthy.
Yep.
Cup's there.
Yeah, they're not going to blitz. If they will lose this game if they blitz.
Because Sean McVay gets the ball fast.
If they blitz Stafford with Puka and Cup, they're going to lose the game.
Yeah.
That's not going to work.
Stafford's going to throw the ball 55 times.
Carves it up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Carves it up.
I'm picking the Rams. I like the Rams in this game.
I like the Rams this game a lot,
It's
too.
crazy how this game is going to change a narrative.
Because he saw in the bright lights, Sam Darnold kind of like deer in headlights. You're like, oh, shit.
Well, yeah, it's kind of that thing like, oh, you are who deep down we all kind
And
of
then you
thought
go
you were.
then you go to Stafford,
That's
who's
why
like
there's been no
that.
contract extension just yet. Yeah.
And then Sam Darnold, and if you think about it, the Rams, especially with Matt Stafford, is the other way. Like, oh, in our hearts, we believe that this guy could beat anyone.
I believe it.
Like
Stafford's
there's some resting positivity in our hearts. So I feel like it's gonna be a popular pick.
Yeah.
Like this
Popular
line is gonna
upset.
swing. I'm not sure what it is right now, but the line's gonna swing for sure.
Quick update. Today, the Rams just told that Blake Corum's out for the postseason. He broke his arm.
Yeah.
So it's just going to be all Kyron, which is probably more dangerous.
Kyron, and they got someone. Who's their other? No, it's gonna be all Kyron. Though.
Yeah, it's Kyron. Yeah.
God, that's gonna be.
Gotta wait till Monday for this.
Is anyone gonna have the balls to pick the Vikings on the show?
That's crazy.
You know why we're a very pro Rams show? I mean, we're very pro Vikings too, but
I love the Rams.
I will say this much. I'm not going to make my official pick just yet, but I'm leaning more towards the Vikings. I don't think they lose 2 big games in a row. I just don't.
yeah.
And if they do, as great as the season was, it's just like Angel said, the narrative has changed so quick on this team.
JJ McCarthy time, baby.
Yeah, I don't even. It's not that they lost a big game. They got beat down.
Yep.
It's a bad loss to
and
go.
then in
and they gotta go on
crucial-
the road
Yeah.
again.
Oh, yeah.
I guess road back to back.
I guess you could say they lost to the record best team in the NFL, so maybe that's an excuse, maybe it's not. But you lose to the Rams.
But if you look at the game and how they lost, the Lions were not playing well. Goff was not playing well. Their defense was showing up, giving opportunity after opportunity. They just could not
Score.
Sam could. When you're a quarterback, the great ones operate well on third down and in the red zone. That's what separates all the good quarterbacks. The good red zone and third down quarterbacks. And that's what Sam failed at.
Fourth down, too. He's bad.
Like third and fourth down and in the red zone, he could not get it done.
Yep.
And that was the story of the whole game. Like turnover battle, I think the Vikings won it.
Yeah.
Like the Lions didn't play that well. They just ran away with it at the end, and they performed kind of better in the bigger moments.
Yeah, Sam Darnold was missing a lot of throws. And it was nerves. You could tell.
Oh yeah, it was hot.
He was.
You know what I thought was funny is when they would do a zoom in on the huddle, like when he was giving the play, the intensity on his face was like, bro, you need to chill a little bit.
a little bit.
You need to chill out just a bit.
Yeah.
Ah, damn.
Yeah, he's going to go into a hostile environment because
Oh yeah.
LA is definitely fair weather about their football teams, but it's definitely going to fill up with a lot of Rams fans.
Yeah.
I know Minnesota has a good fan base in LA, but it's not gonna feel like a Vikings home game.
Yeah.
It'll definitely be a Rams
This
game.
is all
They're
this love we have for the Vikings, just in the place for them to play the.
That's how big this game was. That's how big this game was. So now the Lions, they're going to take a week off.
Yep.
They're going to host every game in Detroit, which I think is a big deal for the Lions.
That place is rocking tonight.
Yeah, they're such an emotional team.
Yep.
Like you give that kind of team a home field advantage, that means a lot.
Yep.
And then you gotta give it to Dan Campbell, man. How he's turned this thing around. Who the Lions are now. Like I think going into the playoffs, conference 7, the Lions, pretty good.
9, 10.
Yeah, because the Lions they get to host, and they're playing. They could either play the Packers, the Commanders, or the
And they're not. They wouldn't see the Eagles until the NFC title game, right? That's how it.
Yeah, they'll avoid the Eagles now until the title game.
Yeah, that's what you want.
And yeah, you're either gonna play the Packers or Bucks or Commanders, right?
you could play the Commanders, the Packers, or if the Vikings or if the Rams win, because it's a 4-5 matchup.
Who's the lowest seed is gonna be the Commanders?
No, the Packers are the 7. Packers are the
Okay.
7. The Commanders are the 6. Vikings are 5, and then Rams are 4. Bucks are 3. So they could play either the Rams. If the Rams win, they could play the Rams, or if the Packers win, they could play the Packers, or they could play the Commanders. The Commanders win. So it's Rams, Commanders, or Packers.
Good for you, Vikings. Or sorry, Lions.
Yep.
Pretty good.
Yep.
Pretty good. Anything else, guys?
Nope. Shout out to all those teams who played their last game today, and all the fans who are gonna be without their team for a long time. Just buckle down. It's gonna be a long journey. Get into draft stuff right now. Start watching college football tapes. Start watching NFL draft shows.
I do want to say on Wednesday's show, we're going to get into the awards, the awards voting. We ourselves are all voting on the awards, so I'll have those results on Wednesday's show, and then also a lot of the coaching and the updates and the rumors and all that.
Because by the time the show comes out, it's with Black Monday would have already
Happy
happened.
Black Monday. A lot of people getting fired. Too.
Yeah. We almost put the show back one more day just to see if we can catch it because it's so much can happen.
And then Friday's show, of course, a complete preview of the Wild Card Weekend, Super Wild Card Weekend as it's called now. And we're here, guys. We're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Season's over. It's time.
It's crazy. There's 5 weeks left of football.
5 weeks left of football.
Yep.
Let's enjoy it. It's gonna be good. Some good.
Real
football.
quick, Monday Night Football in the first round of the playoffs. Are you a fan or no?
Yeah. I think Super Wild Card Weekend's fun. Like it's 3 days of football.
I'm not a fan of a team having a short week in the playoffs.
Oh, you're saying on the back end of it? Yeah.
Right?
I'm okay with it.
Guys?
Yeah.
It happens all year.
Yeah, put it. Yeah,
But in the
I'm fine with
playoffs,
it.
if you can
It'd
avoid
be
it.
weird if it was a Thursday game. That'd be like unfair.
Oh, yeah.
But a Monday game.
That'd be a little,
That'd be
that'd be
wild.
much, yeah.
Yeah.
Thursday's bad.
Gotta let these guys cook a little bit.
Are they doing that Nickelodeon thing again with the slime?
God,
If
I
they
hope
do
not.
that,
Listen.
please,
That's
or-
for the kids, so they get kids in the football.
Does it
I'm a fan
work?
of that.
Does it get ratings?
I don't know.
Are the
don't
kids
know.
like, I want to see Nickelodeon version
kids,
football?
Yeah, kids watch it regardless. They
Tell you what,
like
if
football.
I had a son and wanted to watch football, no, you're gonna watch Joe
Yeah.
Buck and Troy Aikman talk
Yeah,
about
he's not
football.
watching the
He's not watching Patrick
Well,
Starr.
That's
throw a
exactly how
touchdown.
we came up though. Like Joe Buck and Troy Aikman.
If
Yeah,
Tom,
yeah.
if Tom Brady's announcing,
Pam
then
Oveler.
probably.
I like Tom Brady.
If Sergio Dip is announcing,
Shout out to
Who's that?
Sergio.
Time of his life.
Oh,
Vince
God.
He's
Joseph
having the
is
time
having-
of his life.
Yes,
They got. Have we found out where that guy is right now?
he's on ESPN Deportes
Yeah, he
right
stayed
now.
back in the Spanish.
Ah, ESPN kept him, huh?
Yeah.
They just know how to run a business.
That's our show for today, guys. Thanks so much for joining us for episode 202. We'll be back again Wednesday with that show, and can't wait.
Yeah.
Happy playoffs. Congratulations to all you guys in the room. All our teams make the playoffs. And now the wild ride begins to Super Bowl number 59. See you Wednesday. Peace.